Good morning, everyone. It's Aisling from Ace of Spades Tarot. So welcome back to this new channel. I'm really, truly grateful for all who are joining in the collective energy of these readings. If you're new, which I'm guessing most of you are, please do subscribe to the channel, share it with friends who might find it, helpful. Feel free to comment respectfully. And if what I say resonates with you, please hit the like button. Of course, as we all know, it is a general collective reading, not a personal reading. So these readings won't resonate for every person. Please take from it only what relates to your situation and leave the rest. This particular series has been focused on intimate relationships, partnerships, whether they be romantic, most likely, but also can apply to any close personal relationships, business, friends, family, etc. So this reading is going to be for Aquarius. Anyone who has, Aquarius prominently in any of their major planets of their natal charts. I'm also focusing my energy specifically on those with their Venus, Moon, and or Mars in Aquarius, as these planets have to do with how we love, our emotions, and how we take action, respectively. If you don't know how to find out your natal chart information, or you'd like to delve deeper, or you're interested in a private reading, my email will be in the description box below. Please feel free to email me for further information, or if you have any questions. Just a reminder, time is fluid, so whatever this reading finds you, trust that it is meant to find you at that time. Also, gender in tarot is fluid, so please try not to assign gender roles for the characters depicted on the keys. We all have masculine and feminine energy. So, please adjust your perspective of the reading to however it most resonates with you and or any energy that might be directly involved with your energy or impacting your situation. Okay, Aquarius, let's get started. Basically, these readings are kind of from mid-April through May, but again, time is fluid, so, they could be for whenever it resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate now, it could resonate in the future, or it could be something that has recently happened in the past. Oh, a lot of commotion on the street this morning. Aw, the kids are going to school. 2 by 2. Like Noah's Ark. Except for one little group that doesn't follow the rules in the middle. So cute. I love it. Okay, sorry about that. I totally got distracted. I usually do the readings at night just because there is less ambient noise outside, but I'm feeling this, I'm feeling this morning, so we're going to do this morning. Okay. Let's start off with getting some basic energy for the Aquarian collective. Spirit, please. What's the energy surrounding Aquarius and the person who's most on their mind during the time of this reading? The cards are pre-shuffled, all of them, but I like to do a little bit more on camera for y'all. Okay. Energy for Aquarius and the person most on their mind at this time. Spirit. Please make it concise. Thank you. The Hierophant, spiritual advisement. Okay, so the Hierophant, card of Taurus. You know, having to do with contracts and commitments. Obviously having to do oftentimes with higher level commitments, marriage. But, you know, again, it's also a card of spiritual advisement. So you could be seeking, you know, kind of spiritual advisement. You could be a spiritual advisor, or your person could be. But figuring this has to do with intimate relationships. It looks like from card number 1 that, okay, 8 of Swords, imprisonment. Now that's an imprisonment of your own making. You know, it's Gemini energy. You could be dealing with an air sign. Could also be dealing with a Taurus. But I'm getting more that that's, you know, an imprisonment of your own making in your own mind, maybe having to do with a higher level of commitment. Let's get another, no, one more. Let's get another energy out. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, nurturing. Now, Queen of Pentacles is actually your court card, Capricorn. And at the bottom of the deck, King of Cups, emotional mastery. You know, so it's I have to delve a little bit deeper here. I'm gonna leave this upside up this way, see what comes out. Let's move on to, not quite getting a clear picture yet. Spirit guides, please help me give a clear picture of what is the general energy of the Capricorn collective in terms of relationships and partnerships at this time. I'm sorry, I just called you Capricorn. You might be dealing with a Capricorn. Interesting. Sorry, Aquarius. Weird. Wow. Or you might have Capricorn in your chart, or your person might have Capricorn in their chart, dealing with Earth energy. So far, we have, you know, everything on the board but fire. What is Aquarius's? What is Aquarius's? So Gazelle, it's funny, you know, Gazelle actually is fire energy, so, you know, and you see all of that kind of orange and yellow of that solar plexus and sacral chakra, you know, and gazelles are beautiful creatures, majestic in a way. But of course, they're also, you have to think of where they are in the food chain. They're also dinner for lions, in the Serengeti. So let's see. Just saw the lamb, and I just saw it again. Please make it clear. What is the energy of the person that is most on Aquarius's mind at this moment? I have a feeling this is going to be a not as straightforward reading, which makes sense because you're Aquarians, and as cerebral as you are, sometimes you're out there, and it's hard to read you in general. I can usually read people, when I meet them. I can usually kind of tell, pretty good with what their sun and rising signs are, kind of off the bat. But I always say, if I can't read it, that person's either a Libra or an Aquarius. It's really weird. Anyway, side note. Okay. The person almost on Aquarius' mind during this reading. What is their energy, please? Interesting. Cheetah. Now, the same energy, but magnified, right? And the cheetah, like the lion, is hunting. And you see the gazelle looking straight ahead? Well, the cheetah's running towards that gazelle, right? Bounding towards it. Again, another fire energy. So might be dealing with fire signs. But it was interesting how we were just talking about, the predator and the prey. Now we have the predator and the prey, right? And what's the relationship between the two? What's the best energy to describe the relationship between the Aquarius and the person that is most on their mind during this reading? Spirit, please give me one card, make it clear. Interesting. So a lot of root through that solar plexus chakra energy. There's really nothing in these cards that says anything about the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, the crown chakra. It is really all, the three lower chakras, which can be good. It can mean a grounded energy, and it can mean a passionate energy. But, a rabbit is like, it's earth energy, but it's rabbits are similar to the gazelle, constantly hypervigilant, right? Constantly watching out for larger predators, because a hawk can come down and swoop up a rabbit, a coyote can come in, can swoop up a rabbit, a wolf, they're constantly on guard. So you might be feeling in your relationship that you are constantly having to be on guard. And it's funny because the Eight of Swords is above it, right? And again, that's that kind of mental prison that you keep yourself blocked in, where a rabbit kind of keeps themselves blocked in that mental prison of having to constantly be on edge and maybe what is my person doing? Because you can see the rabbit looking this way, right? Towards the cheetah, and the cheetah is running full force as the gazelle sits, and the rabbit kind of sits in wait, always aware. And the gazelle is kind of laying in either setting or rising sun. The cheetah is full force ahead towards the prey. So Okay, interesting. Getting a little bit of a clearer picture here. Now let's go into your energy, Aquarius. How does Aquarius view themselves in terms of this relationship? How does Aquarius view themselves, Spirit? How does Aquarius view themselves? Just got unsure. Unsure. Page of Wands in reverse. So all this fire energy, and then you come out as Page of Wands in reverse. Let's get one more here. You know, it's kind of like completely moving away from all of this energy. Page of Wands in reverse. Now, pages are messengers, so it doesn't look like any actions, you know, being taken, but there's a kind of a lack of passionate messages, if that makes any sense. How does Aquarius view themselves? Please, one more card. One more card, please, Spirit. One more card. Thank you. The Chariot in reverse. Major Arcana for Cancer. And like I was saying, unsure. The Chariot in reverse is unable to make a decision, right? Unable to kind of move forward and make a decision. Kind of that Eight of Swords mentality of being trapped in your own head and unable to move forward because you're blindfolded, even though the swords aren't in your path. The Chariot in reverse is, you know, not moving forward and unable to decide and not trusting their own judgment of which way is better, which is exactly what, you know, the word they were giving me was unsure. So, okay, let's, I don't know why I put this down. Let's go on to how Aquarius views the person that's most on their mind. Okay. The Hermit. Let's get one more. Major Arcana for Virgo. You could be dealing with a Virgo. But, you know, someone that's alone or solitude, you know, they've traveled a long way on their own, having to, you know, on the way learning to light their, you know, to follow their own inner compass, their own inner star. One more for how Aquarius views the person with her. Thank you. Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, I mean, that's beautiful energy, Aquarius. You know, emotionally mature, you know, has plenty of love to give, but in some ways kind of also a lone figure. I'm getting that you view your person as kind of a loner, kind of not in a bad sense necessarily, but more like hard to reach, right? This Hermit has his back turned to us. This Queen of Cups is looking down at the water that she's, you know, half submerged in. How does Aquarius view the relationship, please? How does Aquarius view the relationship with the person that's most on their mind? How do they view the relationship with the person that's most on their mind? Five of Wands. Wow, it's funny. Someone got this in exactly the same position. One more. That's an internal conflict, kind of like, the Eight of Swords. It's an internal battle of kind of chaos, a feeling of chaos. The King of Wands, passion. So you view the relationship as passionate. Definitely a lot of passion here. We have all that fire energy here. But you view yourself as Page of Wands, which is maybe not expressing that passion verbally. Maybe it's all of this, it's all a sexual energy. So seems to be a lot of passion, like it can be passion in love or making love, or sexual passion. It can be passion in fighting as well, back and forth. I feel like this was a very similar reading to Capricorns. So you could be dealing with a Capricorn, or you could have a Capricorn in your chart. You could be a Capricorn with Aquarius in your chart, or Aquarius with Capricorn. I would definitely check out the Capricorn reading if any of this resonates somewhat with your situation. Might be able to get more there. It was a pretty tough reading to get through, I have to say. I had to take a break for a long time. It was the energy kind of stuck with me. It was heavy. That's all I remember for the most part. Let's now go into how does the person on Aquarius's mind view Aquarius? Please, Spirit. Or view themselves, I'm sorry. How does the person on Aquarius's mind view themselves? Not even Mercury in retrograde yet, and I feel like I can't speak. How does the person on Aquarius's mind view themselves? Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Kind of like a work in progress, right? Planting seeds. Planting seeds. Earth energy. Taurus energy. How does the person on Aquarius's mind during this reading view Aquarius? You could be with someone that's working on something, working on building something for the future, working on planting seeds. The Devil. Again, major arcana for Capricorn. I'm telling you, these readings are can't make that up. So your person views you as the devil, which is so funny because in Capricorn's reading, I'm pretty sure that they viewed their person as the devil. Or that was actually underneath the hidden energy. It's like your mirror. You might be dating each other, or again, you might be an Aquarius with a lot of Capricorn in your chart, or a Capricorn with a lot of Aquarius in your chart. You might be dealing with fire energy here, since we have kind of very strong. Cheetahs are pretty strong fire energy there. That's one more card for how the person. Thank you. Four of Cups. Four of Cups. So they view you as kind of not paying attention to the emotional aspects of the relationship, which Aquarians sometimes you can do. Sometimes you can be so much in your head. This person has even what looks like an amethyst, which is your stone, above their head. The mind is kind of open with measuring tape and scissors and so forth. So they could be viewing you as someone who's so in their minds, and even this character sitting in the clouds, that they're not paying attention to the emotion in the relationship. There can be passion without emotion. That's I mean, that's lust without love, right? But we often confuse it. We're human. How does the person on Aquarius's mind view the relationship, please? Thank you. Judgment. Ooh, look at that same green and green. View the relationship as judgment. Okay. So Saturnian energy, Plutonic energy as well. You know, let's get one more for this. It's a pretty serious way to view the relationship. I mean, but it seems like only one person makes it out, right? Thank you. Yeah, Page of Cups in reverse. Yeah, so it's like, I feel like maybe they're viewing it as like, I'm trying to kind of plant seeds and wake you up, and you're ignoring, you know, the cups being offered to you, right? And you recognize the fact that they're this Queen of Cups. But for some reason, you're purposely avoiding these cups, which is kind of like that Eight of Swords in the midst of the Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant, right? It's kind of like, don't shackle me down, but it's in your head, you know? I don't want to make a decision. Why are you pressuring me? Being hypervigilant, being constantly aware. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck here, so I was told to, you know, leave this out. There's the Five of Swords, which is really a mind game, win at all costs card. Could be dealing with another air sign. You know, and you know, this character has tentacles, growing octopus tentacles. Now, you know, if you cut an octopus's tentacles off, they grow back, right? They regenerate. But there's a person in a boat. There's another person in a boat. Like, it's almost, I feel like it's almost like a siren's call, right? Calling these men in to the rocky waters, where in their little small boats, you know, the sea monster is going to swallow them up, which is what in a Five of Swords, you know, a winning at all costs really, really means. You know, it's like baiting someone into arguments. Yeah, and underneath that we have death. And I think at the bottom of this deck there was death as well. Spirit saying check. Yeah, death. And notice it's similar to the Chariot, right? And death, it doesn't have to be, you know, I mean, so I'm not surprised that death is coming up in readings, because, you know, we're in all this Plutonic energy. Pluto's retrograde. We also have the Scorpionic, you know, full moon on the 15th or 16th, depending on where you are, which is going to be pretty intense, and it's a lunar eclipse. It's going to be pretty intense and cause, you know, some upheavals, and especially with also Mercury in retrograde, you know, communication might be at a lack. And it's funny because we then have the Seven of Coins right under that, which really is, you know, the right there. So it's, I love tarot. I love how things, when Spirit does that. But, you know, death, it feels like maybe staying in this relationship, if you know, if the relationship doesn't heed the call of judgment, right? The angels cry. We see these, you know, the bones of different creatures, skull. Here, it feels like slowly dying, right? It feels like it's being slowly, the life being slowly sucked out. And it's interesting because, you know, this figure has like almost like a snake wrapped around this person, slowly draining the life of them, as the siren stands, you know, ready to ready to crash. Sorry, here. Ready to crash these men onto the rocks just to be victorious. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Why is the Chariot in reverse, please, for Aquarius? The Magician, okay. So, you know, that's Virgo and Gemini energy, Mercurial. The Magician, you know, it's about being able to manifest what you want. However, the Chariot in reverse is not making a decision, so why the Magician, please? Why the Magician, please? Thank you. Eight of Wands. Yeah. Yeah, Eight of Wands is you know, a defensive card. It's like I don't know if you feel like this person, you know, is kind of like this. I'm not sure what's going on exactly. Because you're the Page of Wands in reverse, the Chariot in reverse, the Magician and the Eight of Wands. Okay, let's keep going. Hopefully the message will come in. Even my guides are kind of like it seems like you're in that kind of that, you know, the low vibrational energy of the rabbit is to be so hyper vigilant that they you know, they focus on every little minute detail that they stop being able to function. And I feel that that's kind of the energy you're in right now. Why did I see their person as the Hermit? Thank you. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. So, one more. The World. So it's kind of like maybe they're completing a cycle, right? The World is the completion of a cycle. But it's interesting because we have the Ace of Pentacles and we also have the Acorn, which is planting the seeds. And your person sees themselves as Seven of Pentacles, which is planting new seeds, right? So I feel like this is very much having to do with them taking off, or them kind of starting a new cycle in their lives, right? Aces are beginnings. And the World is the ending of the cycle, the ending of our journey in the major arcana. So you might see them as kind of removed, but things are being planted, you know? Tangible things. You might just not see it. Maybe that's what you're looking for, you know? Maybe that's what you're trying to find answers about. So I would talk to them if that's how you're feeling, you know, and maybe they can explain, or maybe you're seeing your cycle come to, you know, an end, or their cycle come. Maybe you know, their cycle is coming to an end in a job, or in another, you know, in another relationship, or in your relationship with them. Why do you see the Knight of Swords? It's kind of the hidden energy underneath. And again, that's kind of like that Five of Swords. You know, the Knight of Swords kind of speaks without thinking, right? So it could be some harsh words being said thoughtlessly without meaning to be. And the King of Cups. So you have the King and the Queen of Cups. So there is emotion here. I just feel like you're not, one of you isn't showing it, and one of you isn't necessarily showing it as much, and one of you isn't really receiving it. You might both have problems with receiving, you know? Could be very possible. or showing, you know. But relationships have to be reciprocal, give and take. You have to be able to give and to receive, both people. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck, I just looked again, is the Eight of Swords. So it's again that mental imprisonment. Okay. Let's go into, why does your person see themselves as Seven of Pentacles? Why does Aquarius' person see themselves as the Seven of Pentacles? Spirit. I mean, I think it's pretty clear, but Queen of Cups in reverse. Maybe they're planting seeds because you view them as this Queen of Cups, and they know beneath it all, they don't have the amount of emotional depth that you think that they have, which is maybe why you also see them as the Hermit, as something distant, you know? One more. Let's get one more there, please. Just one more, please, Spirit. Hangman. Another card of Cancer. So again, gaining a new perspective, but sometimes it can be, you know, taking that time out. It's taking the time out to gain a new perspective, kind of become enlightened, chilling, but it can be a pause, kind of like that Chariot in reverse is not making a decision and not traveling forward. The Hangman isn't traveling anywhere because he's hung up in a tree by choice. Okay, so I'm getting a better picture. Why does the person on Aquarius's mind see Aquarius as the devil? Thank you. Three of Pentacles. See, Aquarius might be someone who works a lot, and they might see, I mean, this is collaboration with others. They might see that you're you might be a workaholic. Maybe that's what the devil energy is. You know, the devil can be anything that we're kind of addicted to. Let's get one more. Thank you. And Judgment. Judgment. How they see the relationship. Right? So not heeding the call, not accepting the cup, not accepting any of the cups, being so up in your head, you know, and working on your collaborations that you're not working maybe on your relationship. Why is Judgment here for how Aquarius's person sees the relationship? Four of Swords. Yeah. So Four of Swords is taking a time out, right? Four of Swords is taking a time out, meditating, you know, so maybe you're not hearing the call because, you know, when maybe you work, I'm getting this someone that works so much that maybe they're not, you know, they're so tired when they come home that they just want to go to sleep, they just want to rest. And this person feels, you know, their heart chakra is kind of bleeding, right? I mean, everything that they see about kind of themselves and their relationship is in green, and all this green. Green can also be a color of envy. So it could be envious of something. King of Pentacles. Now, King of Pentacles, again, that's Taurus. This is Taurus energy. So they could see the relationship as fruitful in terms of finances, but you don't want to be with someone for money, you know? That's what kind of relationship is that? You want to build together. So there is an emotion and there, you know, one or both of you is just staying together because it's cheaper to live together than it is to live alone, or, oh, it's, you know, it's easier to split the bills, or or one person makes a lot more money than the other one does, and that's just more convenient. Don't, I mean, unless you don't care, but if you're to me, if you're just with someone for their looks and they're not you can't have an emotional depth and intimacy and vulnerability with them, or you're just with someone for their money, but you can't have the other parts as well. It's like that's a very superficial relationship, and that works for some people. I'm not knocking it. It's different strokes for different folks. But if you're here watching this, then my guess is you are looking for something meaningful, and you deserve that. We all deserve that. So the weakness of the relationship is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, it's upright, so it's a good thing, but it's also the weakness, which means that wheel can spin at any time. It can kind of turn at any time. That's what I'm getting from the fact that it's in that position. So I feel like maybe there isn't, just like this rabbit, right? There isn't stability. There's never a feeling of feeling safe and secure. You're always either fighting, or there's conflict, or you feel like you're not on the same page, you're not understanding each other. And it's happening. A lot of these readings are similar this month because of everything that's going on, and things will come down, like they'll calm down. We're in eclipse season and tensions are high. Two of Pentacles. Yeah. Two of Pentacles is that kind of infinite juggling, right? Infinite juggling. Something's got to give at some point. Kind of like that Wheel of Fortune can spin one way or can spin the other way. The hourglass can kind of spin one way, spin the other way, something. But eventually, time runs out. What are the strengths of the relationship, Spirit? Aquarius and the person that's on their mind. Ooh. Two of Wands. One more. Strengths. Yeah. She said that it's okay to just leave it here. I don't mean Two of Wands. Yeah, Two of Wands is again making that decision, right? Making that decision of which way to go. And I love that it has a blue ball, as I have a blue ball here. It's kind of funny, but yeah, it's deciding which path to take. It's kind of stuck in that Chariot position. Where is the relationship headed? Could we get a card for the direction of the relationship? Get a card for the direction of the relationship. Four of Pentacles. Oof. I feel like that's, again, holding on to the relationship because you're afraid to let it go. You're afraid, you're both afraid, the squirrel, it's like the rabbit, it's hoarding things away, like this hoards its nuts away and stores them, and but it's blocking off its heart chakra. It's got its hands are both holding pentacles. Its tail, it's like it doesn't, and it's holding on for dear life. Like no one's gonna take this away from me. But you have to ask yourself, like, what are you holding on to? Is this making you happy, or is this kind of just because you don't want to be alone? Both of you, I mean, there's something about this that feels very kind of codependent to me. And you're both kind of trying to figure things out, but it's really hard to do that when you're always in like hypervigilant mode about the other person, or trying to figure the other person out, trying to get to the bottom, trying to win the argument at all costs, or whatever it is. Yeah, when you're each at different places at different times, you know, kind of along your journeys in trying to kind of meet up at certain, I mean, metaphorically, you know, it's like you're on two different timelines, and then you pass each other at the right time, and then kind of drift off, and then pass again, and you know. But it feels like this feels like very much. It's kind of funny that we have the world card here with this acorn, because that's what's, you know, squirrels known for hoarding their acorns, right? Like chipmunks, same kind of thing. So yeah, it feels like no one's letting go of this, but it doesn't necessarily feel like there's a hell of a lot of love here. I gotta be honest. It feels like, I think that's why, you know, this Hierophant and this Queen of Pentacles is so much like a mental prison, because it's like, I think in your heart of hearts, Aquarius, or, you know, if you're on the other side, take it as it resonates. Again, please. But you both, I feel like maybe you're both feeling like, is this really the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with? Like, we work okay, but are we really a match in the long run? We might be, you know, on the same planes, in the same Serengeti, but, you know, a gazelle is food for the cheetah. A rabbit is food for the cheetah. Is this a vibrational match, you know? A card of advice from Spirit, please. Card of advice from Spirit. Yeah. The Hanged Man. So, you know, I think your person's trying to see things maybe from a new perspective, but the advice from Spirit is to follow suit and try to see things, you know, from a different perspective. You know, with all of your senses. You know, bats are blind, you know, so they have to use their other senses. So, you know, really be in touch with the rest of your chakras, you know, not just the root chakra and the solar plexus and the sacral, you know, the action and the passion and the good time between the sheets and or wherever, or whatever you're into. But, you know, really take some time and really try to get in touch with your heart and your heart chakra and your throat chakra, and communicate in your third eye for wisdom, and your crown chakra, you know, and you know, you have that magician. I think now I see why this kind of came out, because it's about seeing without using your eyes, understanding without having to use your eyes. Really, it's your third eye, you know, the feather kind of being your crown chakra, and that air energy that you possess. So, again, it's also Pisces energy for anyone that wants to know. I mean, yeah. Bottom of the deck is Temperance. So there could be a call, you know, Spirit, it could be a call for there to be some balance too, or tempering of things. If there are addictions, you know, with this Devil card, could be a call to you know, try to balance some things out. Again, look at, we have the red and the blue here on either side, and it's like there's all this red, and in your weakness here is the blue. It's like that's the strongest blue there, is in the weakness of the relationship. So, you know, and this orange and yellow and, you know, fiery color throughout it is predominant. So yeah, there's definitely a call for temperance. I'm gonna get one final oracle card from the Sacred Geometry Oracle Activations deck, and that came out really quickly. Is communication. What do we say? And look at all the colors there. The purple of the crown, the blue of the throat, the green of the heart. Card number 14. 1 and 4 is 5. It's the card of the Hierophant there. So it's not a coincidence. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. Temperance, what we were just saying. I mean, this really pulls everything together. Because at first I was really, even my guides were kind of like, what the fuck? But that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, communicate with each other. And you might find that, like, you might be great friends that are just comfortable with each other at this point and like don't want to let go because neither of you really wants to be alone. Or you might find that you communicate and like, oh my God, maybe you really are on the same page, but who would have known? I think it's really important to do that. And that's really your message. So, Aquarius, thank you so much for joining me with this reading. I hope any of this helped, resonated with some of you. Again, I would recommend checking out the Capricorn reading if you're more on the side of the kind of, harsh words and kind of having to win side. Check out that Capricorn reading. And otherwise, I would say, just really plan a time where you sit down and have a calm, peaceful, sober, from the heart conversation about what it is, you really want and who you each really are deep down. Scrape off the surface. Again, email will be below in the description box if anyone is interested in their own situation and in personal reading, which is for me much easier to for me to get your energy that way, and collective readings are always a little bit tougher. And also please subscribe and like, share, comment, and I hope to see you again soon. Ciao for now, and Namaste, Aquarius.